a more advanced hip mobility workout here. So again, we're focusing on release and move drills. The release drills with the Waveblade to bring some blood flow and reduce some tension in the area, and the move drills will get the joint moving again. So what we're going to focus on is one side first. If you want to do the other side as well, go back to the start of the workout, press play and run through it again. All right, so we're going to target our psoas, or our biggest hip flexor, but we're going to target it up here where it attaches to the spine. So I've got to find kind of my oblique line. I come up from my hip, I'm targeting here above my hip bone. So we're going to place this down. I'm going to use the end blade, straighten my leg out. Now, 60 seconds max. So don't dump all your body weight into it. Just kind of get used to the sensation, and you just want to very gently move back and forward on the blade. I'm sharing a lot of the load through my elbows and my knees. And slowly I just want to allow the blade to get a little bit deeper. I take big deep breaths into the blade, allowing my stomach to expand. Blow the air out. Relax a bit deeper, and I can pull myself forward on my elbows slightly to get a bit of a stretch in that area. Now I'm stretching the psoas as well as rocking back and forward. Now you're really going to start to be feeling it. And hold there for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and slowly come off the blade. All right, QL, so we're looking at lower back. So we're looking at one side of the lower back above the pelvis, but below the bottom rib and in towards the spine. So what we're going to do, we're going to place the blade down on this angle, put my bum on the floor and lean on an angle back into it, and we're going to go 60 seconds, away we go. Time starts. And I don't need to make a lot of movement. I'm keeping my bum pretty much on the floor. When you find the right angle, you're definitely going to feel this. If you're playing a lot of sports with rotation or side flexion and that kind of stuff, you're probably going to find one side a bit tighter than the other. So an important drill, just let this leg relax out to the side, back and forward, and just pivoting your body to try and find the blades coming in towards your spine. Again, breathing throughout. Big deep breaths. Back and forward in that area, but we don't have to put all of our body weight through it. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, so anterior hip, we're going to be working around the top of our hip where the leg joins. We're looking at all the muscles and fascia in this area rather than one specific muscle. Important area, so we're going to go 90 seconds. Place the blade down, front of the hip on, and timer starts. So from here, just trying to accept the pressure of the blade. Move back and forward slightly, and I'm starting more towards my midline, so more in towards my groin. Just working back and forward. Not trying to go too fast. If you feel a real tender point, hold on that point. Ease back and forward on it. You can always flex your knee like this as well and lift the knee off the floor for a bit more pressure into that hip. And then start to work your way towards the outside. You're pivoting out towards the outside of the leg, but still up in that hip area. Back and forward there. If you want a bit more pressure again, you can grab here, back and forward. Find that tight area. Wherever's the most painful spot is where you need to be, really. So keep on going through there. Back to the inside. So that's a minute. Just going to go another 30 seconds. We get very tight through our hips when we're sat down, so it's important to spend a bit of time undoing that tightness. Find those tender spots. Another 10 seconds. back and forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so half kneeling position again, hip and groin stretched together this time. I'm going to take this foot out on an angle and we're going to go 45 seconds. And from what I do here, clock has started, I'm moving out in this direction and back. Reaching out, I want to make sure my knee stays out. Breathing into it and back. Keep nice and tall. Feel a stretch on the inside of this leg, but also through the inside of this leg simultaneously. Keep your pelvis tucked up underneath you. Breathe out as you go. If you want to make it harder, bring this foot around a bit. So we're rotating this leg out even more. And back. And again, 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And back. All right, so now we're going to target adductors and hamstring, but trying to get a little bit more pressure in there. So how we do this, place the blade down on a box, bench, or front room coffee table. Make sure it's sturdy enough first. All right, so we drop a weight on, support with your feet, and start the timer. So now I'm working back and forward. And I'm targeting towards the back of my leg, right up where my hamstrings attach and my adductors attach. Now I can pivot my leg in, there, and get a bit more adductor, plenty of tension in there, really roll my foot forward, get deep up into the back of it. That's where you're going to feel it, up the top. So we're targeting that attachment point of the muscle, around the tendons, and then you can pivot out towards hamstring here as well. We're just trying to get that extra bit of tension. If we couldn't get enough tension from the floor, this is a great way to get it. Back and forward, look for those painful spots, there's one. Pivoting that leg forward will really target it. Don't want to spend too long doing this, so we've got another 10 seconds. 5,
Gentlemen,
4,
in the mix.
3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're going through another half kneeling mobility drill here. This is a hip extension and a thoracic rotation drill. So we're going to go 60 seconds on this one. So we're going to start the timer and we're off. So we're going to reach nice and tall, hip goes forward very slightly, open that joint up. Don't forget to breathe, hands in and outside that leg. Reach back, looking back along your arm. Try not to lose balance. The other way, reach. I'm trying to rotate through my upper back and torso. I'm not trying to rotate from my hips. I want to keep them facing forward. Reach and reach. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see again. So pushing the hip forward, lift nice and tall, hand comes outside, rotate, looking back along my arm, hand comes inside this leg, but still hip facing forward. Open out there. Again, 10 more seconds, reach, reach, and one more, reach, and rest. All right, so we're going half kneeling hip extension drill. So I'm focusing on flexing and extending this hip. Now I'm putting my knee on a towel for support because it's a hard floor. Foot flex, we're gonna go 45 seconds. Here we go. So both hands on whatever you've got for support, and we're gonna push our hips back. And then open the hip up, and I'm lengthening this way, lifting my spine up and then back. Trying to keep my spine straight. Lift, feel the joint opening up here, squeeze your glutes a bit, and now fold back in. I don't want to round, I want to fold back into my hip, sit back and away. And again, up and lift that hip open. Sitting back, drive up and forward. Couple more, sit back in, drive up, feel this joint open up, back in, and lift. Okay, so we're going to target SI joint. Quick idea of where it is. So tailbone at the bottom, glutes. I And we're kind of targeting this kind of triangle area here. I want to get the center blades just on the top of my glutes, either side of that point. So we're going to go 60 seconds. This one takes a bit of getting used to finding the right spot. Lift, place it underneath, down into it, and start the timer. So now I've got it there. Just going to go through some pelvic tilts to start with. For some of you, this will be really tender. And for other people, you might not really feel a lot. So we're going to do kind of 30 seconds of this more basic drill. We're just trying to restore some movement to that area. Back and forward. Feeling that pressure in the right spot. Now, for those of you that want more pressure, now you can lift your knees. And what you're going to do is you're going to do knee circles. So we're circling around the SI joints, so those center blades having contact on either side. You want to go for around 10 of these. Again, if you feel you need more time, you can stop the video. We're just going to do a couple more. 1, 2, and feet down. Cool. All right, next target, glutes and kind of posterior hip stabilizers around this backside area. So place the blade down, going on a bit of an angle. We're going to go 60 seconds, place my butt on, cross my knee if you can, and away we go. So working back and forward, and I want to pivot across. If you really struggle with this position, you can put your leg out straight there and work back through it like this. I like to get that knee, foot up on the knee. If you struggle to get this position, it's a sure sign we're doing the right thing. So working through it. Now, just looking for that painful point for me about there. Just holding on that spot and kind of oscillating in that area rather than trying to roll the whole area all in one go. We can go back towards our midline, back towards our kind of tailbone area. Work through there. And then rock to the outside. We're going for 60 seconds. If you feel you need longer, you can always pause the video. So we're going to do 10 seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. All right, so we're going for an adductor and hip mobilization from a crawl position. So we're going to go 45 seconds. So hands down, leg out to the side, and we're going to start the timer now. And I'm keeping my back flat, shifting my hips back, and moving forward. Now my foot needs to kind of be in line with my knee, or slightly behind. And I'm making sure that I'm keeping my foot flat. I don't want it to be rolling onto its side. Sitting back into it. Don't go too far too soon. You're going to feel a big stretch through your adductors here, the more you sit back. But we want to sit back without doing this. I don't want a rounded spine. Pull my chest forward, keep my back nice and flat. Sit back into that hip, and forward. Nearly there, 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so a dynamic 90-90, 45 seconds on this drill now, and we're going to start the timer now. So I'm going to reach across over this leg, swing my legs round, reach across over this leg, swing my legs round, get that 90-90 position, reach. And the further you go into the drill, the further I want you to reach across. Try and get some rhythm and tempo. Make sure you got enough space. Keep it going. 10 seconds to go. Again, if you want to go for longer, you can. Just pause the video. Reach, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1.